What's up, bro? Welcome back to JRX Plan. I'm just sipping on some lemon water right here. Nice natural diuretic, gets the chin all big and stuff. Speak about natural diuretics, we're speaking about the straight 7 system today. An idea which I originally got from the First Man YouTube channel that's run by Kris. He's a really good guy, it seems. He speaks a lot of facts on the channel, very straight up. He actually swears quite a lot in his videos. He doesn't seem to care really. You know, the guy's got balls. So I'm just letting you guys know that this isn't something that I came up with. This is the person that I have got the idea from, and I'm going to speak about it to you guys because I think it's just so valuable. And obviously if you want to hear his take on it, the original guy, you can head over to his channel. I'm going to link in the description. But anyway, straight 7 system, what does it mean? You've probably heard about people calling themselves, oh, I'm a 6 out of 10, I'm a 7 out of 10. Some other sort of delusional people say, I'm an 11 out of 10. Everybody thinks so. I love myself. I'm tremendous and fantastic, right? Whatever you know of the term. So obviously these people are probably referring to their looks. This is the system that Kris has laid out, and I quite believe strongly in this as well, is that a man's values don't necessarily come from only their looks. They 100% do not come only from their looks. So for men, I believe that there are many areas of life that you have to get to, but these are just some, right? There are basic things like, obviously you've got your looks, right? How you look, you can improve that. You can improve, for example, I don't know, the hairstyle you have, whether you should have a beard or no beard, how your jaw looks. You can do like jaw exercises. I'm sure you guys have probably heard of like looks maxing, things like that. Obviously, then you have things like your physique, which obviously you've got muscle mass, you've got body fat percentage, you've got just general aesthetics. For example, men usually look for the V taper. It's considered attractive, it's considered masculine. Wide shoulders, narrow hips, low body fat percentage also shows off your muscles. You can see abs, for example. Abs are a very attractive muscle group. I've seen sort of social experiments where somebody goes up to, I don't know, 100 people. Obviously, social experiments, it is what they are. It's a guy walking around with a camera. There's not very much scientific backup to this, so you know, take of that as you will. But people have said that women like, for example, forearms on display. I'm not doing this for any particular reason. I'm behind the camera, nobody's seeing me. But for example, forearms, when you have veins on your forearms, apparently that's quite attractive in certain parts of Asia. The more you know. And obviously a low body fat percentage shows your forearm muscle and it shows the veins. So there you go, there's things like that. There is obviously financial. So a guy with 100k in his bank account is probably better off than a guy with 10k. So you can say, oh, how does he spend the money? But that's not the point, guys. The point is more money, maybe more problems, but more money is generally better. And obviously it's not just about a number, it's about the money that you've got coming in, how you spend your money, if you use your money to make more money, things like that, right? And I consider that to be financial success, is if you manage to use your money to, for example, get time freedom, location freedom, for example, which is another thing that we'll speak about. And in terms of life setup as well, finance, high amounts of money also tends to help, right, guys? And then we have things that are basically genetic that you cannot help, but there are very few things that you can change. For example, you have your height, right? So let's say that 10 out of 10 on the scale is a 6'4", 6'5" guy, right? Absolutely built like a tank, perfect head of hair, rich, billionaire, got multiple companies. He's fantastic at his sport, probably top 10 in the world. This guy is spoken, amazingly spoken, knows the English dictionary off by heart, probably speaks 8 languages, right? The more I speak about this, you guys probably realize that there are no 10 out of 10s across the board. These guys pretty much don't exist, and if they do, it's the top 0.00001%, right? So that's a theoretical 10 out of 10. When we speak about the system, people usually speak about how they look. So, oh, I'm a 7 out of 10, I'm a 9 out of 10. I believe that there's a lot more to it for a man, because a man's attractiveness and value doesn't really come just from his looks. It obviously comes from the things discussed previously. So think about it this way, guys. If there's a guy that's, for example, an 8 out of 10 looks-wise, he looks amazing, he's super tall, he's like 6'3" or something, but, right, he looks fantastic, his face is good, his genetics are great, his hair's awesome, but now suddenly say this guy is overweight. And now suddenly add in that this guy works a dead-end job. I'm not trying to insult you guys, you know, on the grind trying to get money, but let's say this guy works at, I don't know, IKEA. Like he's just cooking up the meatballs at IKEA, right, for minimum wage. Suddenly, the fact that he's an 8 out of 10 doesn't really seem that appealing, does it? Because if his financials are at a 2 out of 10, and I'm really pushing that 2 out of 10 for like a normal job, because in my mind, the scale for money is very exponential. Like for example, a 2 out of 10, let's say, earns 20k a year, 3 out of 10 is 40, you get me? Not that it necessarily doubles, but I'd say that if you want to consider yourself like a 6 out of 10 financial on the global market, you have to be earning above 100,000 a year easily, right? And that might really strike some of you guys, but that's, to me, that's nothing special, because if you say 7 out of 10, you have to be probably bringing in $1 million a year at least. Because trust me guys, you think that money is not everywhere, it is everywhere. Guys, that as soon as you start becoming a little bit more successful, money really means, not that it means less, but more. More is, it gets easier to get, and it's exponential to grow most of the time. So the really, really rich guys, like the guys that are living in Dubai with 1,000 supercars or whatever, to them, $1 million a year, 2 million a year, 50 million a year, it's not really a big deal. So if you guys get me on the financial scale, that's why I said the guy that works in IKEA is a 2 out of 10. Because 1 out of 10 is like, you're barely getting by, you're probably in debt, you're eating super noodles to stay by, right? That's, you guys would probably put that a 3 or a 4 out of 10, but I'm saying as it is, that's a 1 out of 10, right? Put yourself in a scenario, you're this Chad that works at IKEA, you got no money, probably live at your parents' house because you can't afford a flat. Suddenly, on the board, across the board of everything, where you're an 8 and a 2 here, your average is like a 4. You see that Chad guy is a 4 out of 10, right? Now let's put another guy who is 5'8", so like average height. Depends on where you are in the world, but let's say he's 5'8". So he's like 5'6" in height, right? Then, let's say this guy goes to the gym for 4 years, really tries his best, and builds a killer physique. He's got abs, he's got good size, he's got good conditioning, good stamina. This guy's just really healthy, basically. Then his diet's on point, so let's put him 7 out of 10 diet, right? Let's say, whilst he's been going to the gym, he started his own business. He started, for example, personal training, then he's advanced that into an online coaching program, then he's hired more people, for example, he now coaches other people how to personal train, and he's built this whole business around it, let's say. Let's say this guy's bringing in 1.5 million per year, 2 million per year, something like that. So that puts him at a 7 financially, right? And he's got safety because he hasn't only started one business, he's started another business. Let's say he has some dropshipping stores. Let's say he's got some of his money invested. Let's say he's got some money in crypto, right? You get me? Eggs in multiple baskets, guys. So he's at a 7 financially. And let's say every day this guy picks up a book and he reads and he learns. And he's very well read. He speaks his own language very well. Let's say he's got a tutor that he's hired, that he's paying to teach him, I don't know, Italian, for example, Spanish, I don't know. Let's say he's learning another language. Let's say he's already fluent in 2 and he's learning another. That puts him at a 7 already in that kind of area, right? He's very well spoken, this guy. His style is probably like a 3 out of 10. What he wears, he probably looks like a bum, like me, just wearing this. Actually, I don't know, guys. These quarter zips, they really do bits, to be honest. With you guys, they really look very good with most outfits, so I do recommend a quarter zip. Anyway, guys, let's say that he gets a personal stylist / personal shopper, and they help him really hone in what to wear. And in the winter, he wears clothes that are suitable for winter. In the summer, he wears clothes that are suitable for summer. He's not walking around in summer in some massive like Supreme North Face puffer jacket that costs a lot, but it looks shit, guys, right? He's probably got some nice tailored clothing, you know, like a nice linen shirt or something like that, and it's been picked out by somebody whose job it is to actually know what goes well with, for example, their face shape, their skin tone, etc, etc. So let's say his style's at a 7 out of 10. And I can go on and on and on about this with you guys, but you get me. I think you're starting to understand that rather than sort of taking what we've been genetically blessed with, let's say height, or let's say you got a massive wang, right? Let's say you got this like absolute monster, right? That every girl's like, oh my god, tremendous, and your mates are jealous at everything, whatever. Right, guys? You should not base your whole life around that, because if you're a 10 out of 10 in one area, but you're a 3, a 2, a 1 in other areas, objectively, you're like a 3. But if you invest effort into every single area, I genuinely believe that 99% of guys, I don't say 100% of guys, because obviously someone's gonna roast me in the comments saying, oh, what about the burn victim that's got no arms or legs, that is deaf and blind? That's like less than 1%, okay? And I really feel sorry, and it's terrible for these people. but people like this do exist, and sometimes things can't be done. But even for those people, I genuinely believe that, for example, if you can see, you can read, right? So you can still improve yourself by reading books, for example. Even if you're watching like a podcast, some of them are dubbed. You can read the dub, right? And this is kind of getting depressing, guys, so let's move on this topic. But most of you guys, 99%, I do strongly believe that you can get points across the board. You can put your effort into different things. Put your effort into finance, into your personal finance, into your business. Put effort into the gym. Put effort into your nutrition, your style, your circle, your community. Put effort into the connections you make. Let's say that you don't even have your own business yet. Let's say you're putting effort into your job and you're climbing up the corporate ladder. You're getting more money, more paychecks every time, more respect. You're getting more opportunities, for example, training courses at your job. The more that you put in, guys, the more you get out. And I believe that you need to put in a lot in every single one of these areas and become a straight 7. Because 7 is above average. It's going to be very difficult to find another guy like you if you put your effort into all these areas and become a straight 7, right? It's going to be very difficult to top you. Because, like I said, there could be a guy that's got money, but he's 60 years old, he's overweight, he's fat, he's probably got high blood pressure, a lot of like fucking problems that he's inflicted upon himself with bad lifestyle, right? Literally, the guy can get like a 20-year-old supermodel girlfriend and he's not going to get hard because his weakness doesn't work because of all these health problems he's inflicted to himself, right? Unfortunate, guys. So that guy might be a 8 out of 10 money, but most of the time, this is why you see these like older guys having to pay for escorts and stuff like that, because no actual girl wants to be with them, because A, they literally can't get hard, B, they've probably got nothing going for them, zero social skills, they've just managed to make their money somehow, and that's it. They've put all their eggs in one basket. They're rich as fuck, but they have nothing else going for them, right? Their physique, it's like, imagine like a marshmallow and 4 little like toothpicks for their arms and legs. That's those guys, right? I'm not insulting any particular group of people, guys, but you get me. You definitely met someone like that before or know who I'm talking about. And you got the other end of the spectrum. You got guys that, for example, spam the gym and they look amazing. They've got fantastic bodies, amazing physique, but they've got zero finance. They literally like dropped out of school because they just started going to the gym or whatever. And yeah, they might have like an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 body physique. Their hair looks amazing, you know, fantastic. Like they could be on the front of a magazine, but they didn't take advantage of that, and they have no money, they have no social status, no life setup, for example. So those guys are also, when you look at the whole spectrum, these guys are also like a 3 out of 10. So it doesn't matter. So in your guys' situation, if let's say you look at yourself and you're like, oh, I'm like a 4 out of 10 in looks, and I'm like a 3 out of 10 finance, I've just started going to the gym, so let's say I'm 2, I'm 3, and I do try to dress well, but I don't really know what goes with what, so let's say I'm gonna put myself at like a 4 or whatever, right? I dress better than other people that I know, but I still wouldn't be at the front of fashion magazine. Like, people don't turn around, they don't look at me, I'm just kind of like an NPC walking about, you know? If you put yourself there, and also like social skills, if you go around and you're scared to talk to people, or you're scared to talk to the pretty girl at Starbucks to get your drink, so you're going to speak to a guy instead, right? So you're like a 3 in social skills. Instead of just getting like jacked and getting 9 out of 10 looks and leaving everything as it is, it's so much better, guys, to advance everything to a 4 even, and then you're a 4 on the board. Then advance it to a 5 when you feel comfortable, and when you've advanced enough in every single area, go up again. It's like leveling up in a video game, guys. And you'll see that a lot of these things go hand in hand. For example, I found that going to the gym more really helps with speaking to people. And I'm not sure if it's the confidence that comes from just being a larger individual, like physically more, I guess, not imposing, but almost like physically, when you're a larger human, something in your brain tells you, I am in the lead of this conversation. Like, there's a reason why presidents have historically been super tall guys. Like, even Donald Trump is really tall. Let me pull this up, because I don't think he looks that tall in interviews, but yeah, Donald Trump is apparently 190 centimeters, which is, I believe, around 6'2". So not necessarily that has to be height, but if you get jacked and you get nice muscle mass on you, you're physically bigger than the other person you're speaking to, which I've actually found gives me some confidence when speaking to people. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, but confidence is a good thing. I believe it's a good trait. See, these things go hand in hand. For example, even gym and finance go hand in hand, because you can train, right? But if you don't have the money to get a gym membership, if you don't have the money to eat clean, let's for example say your gym is under construction and you need to drive out further to go work out and to another gym. Let's say you don't have a car. Then you're forced to go to the gym whenever the bus is available. And obviously that's not ideal because you want time freedom. And a car also gives you a certain degree of location freedom. So let's say you don't have a car. Well, then you're screwed, okay? And where are you going to train? Let's say that the bus is only there when you're at work. So what, are you just not going to train? When you get more money, you can buy a car, you can get driving lessons, drive over to the second gym, and the fact that the first one's closed won't affect you. So your finances, and for example the business that you've built, have given you the location freedom in order to train and get the aesthetic body that gives you the confidence to aspire to be more and expand your business further. Because I've found that with confidence you get better not only at speaking to girls, for example, you're also better at speaking in business meetings, you're better at speaking in interviews. It's like your speech level just goes up through the roof. The more you speak, the more it goes up, guys. You see how this is all linked, like it's all linked, and this is why you get these weird, like socially awkward, like guys that, I don't know, for example, have struck gold in tech, like the .com bubble, right? So I'd love to use, for example, like Jeff Bezos as an example, but A, he's a great public speaker, and B, he has just got absolutely yoked. I don't know if you guys have seen the pictures of him like coming off the yacht and stuff, but he's like wearing this vest and he's absolutely huge. Now obviously that's due to probably TRT and maybe some peptides or other compounds he may be running at his age, but the guy is old, right? So there's no judgment whatsoever. Like, I'm glad that he's taking care of his health now, this guy, because it seems he's put so much effort into running his businesses. His whole life he's put so much effort into that, and now even guys like that, even billionaires, are realizing that a system like this is better, like getting all points across everywhere on the board, right? So this guy had everything, but he still decided, I need to get a good body because A, it's healthy, B, I look better, it's gonna be better for me, right? Even a guy like Jeff Bezos has now got jacked because it's important, right, guys? You're a guy. You're not meant to look like the guy that I just described, you know, the marshmallow with the sticks pointing out with the toothpicks, right? You don't want to be a marshmallow man, right? You don't want to be that guy from Ghostbusters, that Michelin man type. Yeah, but listen, bro, since you've watched this far, obviously you're interested in this. I've spoken about all the areas that you can get into, right, and level up, almost like in a video game actually. The more you do the certain activity, the more you level up. Like, the more you try to grind on your business, eventually the more money you're gonna make, because you're gonna learn along the way, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna see if this model works, if that model works, you're gonna see what kind of business is right for you, etc., etc. But I hope you're seeing that everything is almost interlinked together. So as I said before, a very good example is going to the gym and getting a body that you're happy with. You're just naturally more comfortable speaking to people. For example, I used to deal with, I kind of believe that social anxiety is fake. It's sort of something we made up as an excuse almost. But I definitely did have something very similar to what people describe social anxiety to be. And I found it very difficult to speak to people. But now I kind of see it as, it was a fear of what if, but those what ifs never really happen. Like, I was afraid to speak to the cashier at like a burger place to get a burger because they were pretty. It's like, the transaction there between me is to go, pay, and get the burger, right? I was scared that the person's gonna just not serve me for some reason because, I don't know, I don't look good or something like that. That's so stupid to think about, guys. Like, they're working there to give you the burger, right? And if you manage to pick up the girl's number, fantastic. You're like a 7 out of 10. You're like an 8 out of 10 social skills guy, right? And obviously you're not only thinking about the burger, you're thinking about other things. But if you're like worried about going to do that, then this is a completely other part of the video, but there's nothing to worry about really, guys, because most of the time, 99% of the time, nothing will ever come, nothing bad will happen. There's like very little chance that you'll mess up in these simple situations in life. But I definitely know what it feels like, because it was definitely a thing for me. But now that I've gone to the gym and I've spoken to more people and everything like that, it's so much easier to just go out there and get what belongs to me, I suppose, as Joey Diaz would say. So that's what I'm gonna leave you guys with, is Level up every aspect of your life, guys, like it's a video game. Grind. Aim to be a 7. If you're a straight 7, it's gonna be so hard to find another guy like you. You're gonna get jobs, you're gonna get girls, you're gonna get all this stuff if you're a 7 out of 10, because in the local area, think of how many guys, like above the age of 30, 40, 50, have actually what you're gonna have at age, let's say, 20, 30, right? How many guys are gonna be a 7 on every single board? Every single point of the board? Nobody. Basically nobody. You're gonna just climb to the top by slowly grinding every single one of these things. So I'm gonna leave you with that. Get out there and get what belongs to you. See you later, bro.